All right, I think we're live now. Hey guys, what's going on? It is Lance and Lauren here, and we are back for another episode of Elevated. I think it's episode 15.
Episode 15.
And we are talking about a super fun topic today. Raise your hand in the comments if you've ever seen the movie What About Bob?
Oh, yes.
It's a movie that makes me so angry and makes me laugh all at the same time. And so in honor of What About Bob, because it is such a great movie, we want to talk about baby stepping your way to a successful fitness journey. And we have got 4 points for you today that you're going to be able to take away from this video and start instituting in your life. When we were talking about the show, I was, telling Lance, I was like, man, I said everything on our profiles and videos that we've done today has all been about consistency. And Lance shared a video earlier today about our good, great, and awesome goal systems on his profile and in the group. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. A little 1-minute clip. But we've been talking about consistency. And I think the big overarching topic when it comes to the word consistency is that we teach people to do baby steps in order to get consistent. And so we wanted to bring this topic to you guys to teach you how to do that. And so that way you can actually get where you're trying to go versus getting super frustrated and quitting. So
yeah, I think that the thing of it is that one thing, again, guys, you got to keep in mind that, this is now I'm working on my 16th year of fitness coaching. And over that, I have seen so many repeating processes.
Absolutely.
So you start seeing these things that are like, oh yeah, this is that type of person. This person does this thing. And it's not to categorize everybody. It's so that you recognize things that are happening. So one of the things that I recognize is that people talk about different ways to reach goals and so on and so forth. But when people talk about using baby steps, they never actually give practicality. They
Right.
There's so many, it irritates me so much when people just say like, all you got to do is this. And I'm like, what does that look like?
Right.
Can you give me a step-by-step process? And they can't.
Right.
And so I am all about making sure that when we tell our clients like it's a mindset thing and like, oh, you got to fix your mindset, it doesn't mean think positive because people
so
can
broad.
go like, what does that mean? Like, I gotta fix it, but what part of it?
How?
What is that,
Tell me
So
how.
we want to actually help you with that. So the very first thing we're going to talk about today with baby stepping your way to reach every fitness goal is number one thing is that most of the time when people don't actually use baby steps, number one, it's because they're usually using some sort of shame-based or perfectionistic-based tendencies and habits, what we call disordered habits.
Yep.
Those habits usually will lead to very temporary results.
Right.
And unfortunately, not only temporary results, but usually we're going to have all sorts of moodiness and emotional ups and downs and things like this, burnout, guilt, shame, etc. So what we do is we actually make sure that everybody who joins our program, they're not trying to break records and bite off more than they can chew, because we know that consistency, not peak performance, is key for results.
Agreed.
Well, how do we do consistency? Well, everybody comes
Glad you
into the
asked.
program and they want to be as fast as they can be humanly possible. What we've learned is that fast isn't fast. Slow is smooth, and smooth is fast. So what we do is we tell them to go baby steps because you can go slow.
Yep.
When you go slow with baby steps, you don't fall. You don't run into the door or into the wall. You just simply keep moving.
Yep.
And that movement is what allows you to keep actually moving the needle on your goals.
Yep.
So the very first one here is that when we practice this thing, and everybody knows this old saying of go big or go home, all or nothing. It's this all or nothing, too much, too soon mentality. And this here is going to lead to burnout and fatigue and guilt, not success.
Right.
So the very first thing is you need to understand is why should you baby step your way to success? Because the other way doesn't work.
Right.
The other way is what causes you to go for bigger habits than you've built for. It causes you to bite off more than you can chew and not focus on the end. It causes you to be willing to do very unhealthy and disordered habits just out of some sort of desperation. That's not how we reach goals.
No, it's not. And my granny used to always tell me, you gotta crawl before you walk, baby. And what she meant by that is stop trying to walk when you need to crawl for your first steps. And that's honestly what we teach our clients. I can think of, countless examples, but I'll just give one. Typically, when we talk to someone, because 99% of our clients are all high achievers, and we're assuming if you're watching this, you probably are too. But typically they all have this thought process that it's going to take so much more just to get some results than what it really takes. And so, and I've talked about this a ton. And in fact, the last couple videos I've done with you guys on my profile the last couple weeks, I've mentioned this very thing. But it makes no sense to me why people will choose a workout program that's going to require them to be at the gym 6 or 7 times a week for an hour a day when they can't even make 3 times a week at 30 minutes work.
Right.
But that's what some of you guys are doing. That's not baby steps. That's
Nope.
trying to go balls to the wall to keep up with Susie Fitness over there. And you're not where Susie Fitness is. Susie Fitness wasn't even always where Susie Fitness is right now.
Yep.
She had to get there. She had to baby step her way there. And so it's so important and imperative that you realize that sometimes having just that minimum requirement that you know is doable every week, no matter if all hell breaks loose in your life, that you have that to fall back on. Because when you don't, when all hell breaks loose in your life, then you feel like a failure on top of the hell that's broken loose.
And one thing too, guys, because not only is it a good thing, obviously, we're giving you kind of these principles, if you will, these philosophies of going slower, using baby steps, etc. But one thing that helps this is having a system.
Yeah.
When you have a system to align yourself to, like GPS, which we're going to be talking about next week, there's nothing you can't do. Right. It's amazing.
Yep.
So the second thing is that this is one that we see all the time, and this is absolutely the antithesis of going slow and using baby steps. This is how you end up bumping your head, how you fall, how you feel guilty and shameful because you mess up. Yeah. And it's not just a mess up, it's a bad one. So this, and again, I know you guys are going to be like, oh, that's me. Competing with others before focusing on your journey. This is what's going to lead to disordered habits that simply will not lead to the long-term success that you're hoping for. Yeah. Bottom line is this. I want you to start when you're thinking about which program you're going to do, which diet, whatever you're about to do, and just ask yourself, do I want this to be lasting for 90 days or do I want this to last forever? Simply put. Yeah. And then ask yourself from there, are the habits that I'm about to start, making myself do, are those things that I can keep up with forever? If not, then guess what? You're going to get a 90-day transformation, or it's not a transformation if you don't keep it. We're going to say it's a 90-day temporary makeover. Yeah. And that's what happens. So the fact is that if you're starting your journey and you're in the gym or you're in a program and you're focusing on so-and-so who's doing better than you,
and that's relative.
It is. This is, yes. So we're saying better than you because it is. This is your perspective. You are already still dabbling instead of working on mastery. Right. What you're doing is you are still allowing your emotions to dictate your journey, even though your real heart wants you to be in better shape so that you're confident in whatever. Your emotions are pulling you into destructive habits because your ego, and I'm not making fun, my ego does the same, tells you that you're not good enough unless you're doing what she is doing or he is doing.
Susie Fitness.
And this is how you end up doing something that gets you injured, burn out, or makes you feel so overwhelmed that you go, I don't understand how people do this. Yeah. Well, they don't. That person you're trying to keep up with is going to burn out too. Yeah. Or they've done it so long, you don't realize they've already put in their 10,000 hours to mastery. And you're trying to earn the mastery rank for 1,000 hours when they've put in 10,000. Yep. You can't do that. It doesn't work.
It doesn't. And we even have this conversation with clients sometimes. You guys know we're constantly sharing results about what people are doing. And sometimes, I've had these conversations when I get on the phone with clients. Oh yeah, I get so excited to see results for other people. But when I see, they're down 5 pounds or someone's down 10 pounds and I'm only down 2, I start comparing my own journey. And I have to remind them, okay, 1, comparison is the thief of joy. Yes. And 2, guys, keep in mind that sometimes the catalyst is that person is 30 pounds heavier than you are right now. And that weight falls off of them a little bit faster because they have more to lose. That's the way that it works sometimes. So you have to make sure that you're constantly putting things into the proper perspective.
Well, and that's the thing. So this is what we call critical thinking and emotional intelligence. So most of the time, people won't consider that. So instead what happens is their emotions tell them, not science, not data, not mathematics. Their emotions tell them, I'm not doing as well. This is what happens in their gut, because that little whiny voice that says, they're doing better, you know. It's a whiny voice. It's not a positive voice. It's a destructive little 8-year-old that wants you to take your toys and go home. You have to shut that thing down because it's destructive. That is the voice that got you where you're at. That voice is your flesh. You shut that down and you listen to wisdom. Wisdom and data says the opposite.
Right.
And what happens is wisdom, emotional intelligence, and critical thinking says, oh, she lost 8 pounds to my 3 because she has 60 pounds to my 27 to lose. Critical thinking tells you that and gets you out of that selfish thinking that compares you and causes you to destroy your own journey. Those are the things you have to watch out for. And you can't if you're only trying to chase after some goal or competing with so-and-so down the road.
Absolutely. And the last thing that I want to point out about that, the closer you get to the ultimate goal for success, meaning you don't have as much to lose, the slower it goes. The slower it goes. Guys, I mean, Lance, myself, some other clients that are in our program, clients that have graduated, we all focus now on like sculpting and things of that nature. We don't have pounds of body fat to lose. It's fine tuning. Do you know that it takes me a lot longer to get off a percent of body fat than it used to because I just don't have as much body fat to pull off anymore? That's normal. And so sometimes some of you guys, you know, are thinking you literally have 10 pounds to lose and five pounds of that, I'm just throwing out numbers, is body fat. Well, sometimes if you're doing it the right way, it's going to take a little bit longer to get that off because you got to keep it off. You want to keep it off permanently. So you got to keep those things in mind too.
Well, and one cool thing too, to kind of piggyback on that just so you guys know, it's going to be slower losing pounds of body fat. But the percentage of body fat will actually go up.
Right.
So, for example, like in the beginning, you might lose, let's say, 20 pounds, but you have so much to lose that it only equivocates. Again, these will not be accurate numbers, but let's say it's 1% body fat. So you're like, yay, 20 pounds. And then so-and-so dropped 11 pounds and it was 4% body fat.
Right.
You're like, what the? Yeah. I lost all this weight. Well, it's because you have more to lose. But here's what happens. Now, as you start losing more and more, now you're going to lose 2 pounds, but it might equivocate to that same 1 or 1.5% body fat.
Bingo.
So sometimes now I might lose 4 pounds, but yet it looks like I'm down a full size in pants because it's so different as you get down to that. So the point is that if you're only focusing on one data marker, the scale pounds, it's going to cause you to do some of these things we're telling you not to do, where you're getting yourself out of alignment for things that work for long-term success.
Yes, don't live and die by the scale. Bottom line.
Good Lord, yes, don't do that. So,
all right, number 3.
All right, the other thing too is that we noticed that there is let's just say this, a willingness to take on habits that you've not built willpower for yet is going to lead to more of the same results that got you where you're at now. And so the fact is that we want to make sure that if you are willing to take on habits based on what somebody else is doing before you've really built up the consistency, this is another area that you can almost guarantee within weeks of time, you're either going to get yourself so far out of alignment with what you want to do that you're going to feel guilty, ashamed, and quit, or you're going to feel so burnt out that you're asking yourself how to even keep up with this new lifestyle that's supposedly going to make you feel better. This is not going to be something that's a long-term success. Guys, the thing of it is, I've been fit for 23 years now. I'm not hyper-disciplined. I don't have a ton of willpower. I just have a great system that works. And I know myself. It's just that simple. I can be lazy. I know when to skip workouts. I know when to flub on diet and so on and so forth. You know, am I in the greatest shape I've ever been at this moment? No, not at all. Will I be again? Yes. The bottom line is when you have a system, you can just simply align yourself with it. When you get yourself out of alignment, you shift yourself back in.
So true.
It's just not a big deal. But when you're chasing these items instead of a system, it's kind of like chasing a moving target that you chase this thing and then you realize that it got away. It's like a cat chasing a laser. You're never going to get the light, guys. You're never going to get it. Start doing the baby steps. Otherwise, you're kind of doing the cat chasing the laser thing. So, all right, the very last one, guys. You can't be upset about getting the exact same results every year when you keep doing the same diets, the same techniques, the same dang things, working with a trainer, but without like learning why it's working. Let me be frank with you. If you got results, but you don't know how to repeat that exact process to get that same exact outcome,
you're up a creek. That's just
you got a temporary makeover.
You are.
That means that you've created a dependency upon someone or something else. This means that you are at risk of going backwards.
Yep.
What I implore you to do is to learn how to repeat that process. That can only happen when you're creating a system from the beginning, in which case you're following baby steps that compound and build a foundation to allow you to stick with long term. Here's the biggest secret. This is not something that is specific to fitness. It's a universal concept.
Oh yeah, completely.
It's for marriage.
Yep.
It's for your business, your career, your finances. It's for living your best life, but it's also for fitness. If you want to get somewhere, you need to align yourself with a system that's proven, that works, and that's going to ensure that you know how to make sure you don't burn yourself out, or that you don't underproduce and then get upset about the work you didn't put in either. So we got to make sure that you have a balanced system so you don't underdo or overdo. And this is where this comes out. So we want to leave you with making sure that you actually think about baby steps, because baby steps are going to be the road to the permanent successful transformation instead of a temporary makeover. Because everybody's working. Like when you're working on your diet, you're not thinking about being in shape for 90 days. You're thinking, this is it. I'm finally getting this weight off. But the problem is that you don't understand how the actual metabolism works and what's happening. You've not been taught that. So you don't realize that when you've done that diet, your work has only just begun, because you've lost weight, but you've caused your metabolism to go down to the floor. Nobody's teaching you the things on how to maintain for life. Those are the things you got to learn, and that starts with the baby steps here.
It does. And I'll say this, I'll leave you with 2 tangible things that you can do after you turn off this video and we're done. Start tracking your food. That's one. And start working out just 3 times a week, 15 minutes each time. If you're sedentary, like don't do anything currently right now. 3 times a week, 15 minutes a day, or 15 minutes each time you work out. That will start to change the trajectory of where you're going. If you are already working out, but you're not hitting 3 times a week and you're just, going through it as you can or whatever, make 3 times a week your benchmark. Those 2 things alone will start to change the trajectory of where you want to go.
Absolutely.
So
hope you guys really will take hold of this and take heed. Because the thing of it is, when our clients get this stuff, when they truly internalize these processes, that's what allows them to become their own fitness coach. And the fact is, guys, the reason I'm fit, the reason she's fit, is because we are fitness coaches. We're not fitness coaching clients. And the reality is that fitness coaching clients learn how to basically follow rules that keep them fit with support of that trainer or coach. What we want you to do is to learn how to do that without us, so that you can stay fit for life. That means you're in control of your life, and what other things are going to be better, because you're not fretting about the 20 pounds that you're carrying and wondering if he looks at you different now, or wondering if you lost the promotion because your confidence isn't as high as it used to be. These are the sort of things that are real. And if you only keep chasing the next meal plan or ebook or tip and trick, you're going to get the same thing every year. So we really hope that you guys will utilize this. I promise you, it will change your life. Let us know if you have any questions, and definitely let us know also in the comments below if this resonates with us or with you. Drop a hashtag value below. Absolutely. So anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
Awesome. Guys, do not miss our next one, episode 16. It's going to be epic. We're going to be talking about some really cool stuff that we're going to give some really, really good practicalities that will absolutely help you. So don't miss that one. We'll see you guys on